Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good morning. First and foremost, let me welcome all of you to this program that is the World Today Conversation with Ambassador. I'm Ahmad El-Muhammady. I'm the host for this program today. So ladies and gentlemen, the World program today is a conversation with Ambassador, provide the platform for the ambassadors from various countries who are residing in Malaysia to share information about their countries, especially related to bilateral relations, socio-economics, education, current issues, geopolitics, and so on and so forth. So basically, we are listening to the country's representative themselves, not from what other people say about them or about the country. So Alhamdulillah, today here with me, we are honored to have High Commissioner of Pakistan, Her Excellency Amna Baloch. So, Assalamu alaikum, Her Excellency, and welcome to IKIM, and thank you for being with us this morning.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ahmed, for having me here today.
It's excellent. So, before we start our conversation today, let me introduce Her Excellency Amna Baloch. She has the master degree in history, joined Foreign Service of Pakistan in 1991, and she has a long foreign service career, started from 1991 and then as the section officer, March and August 2004, deputy director, 2005, 2010 as the director. And she also has diplomatic assignment outside Pakistan, 2002 until 2003, the second secretary Copenhagen, 11 to 2011, 2014, councillor minister in Colombo, Consul General, Consulate of Pakistan in China, and she remained on deputation with the Prime Minister's Office as a Joint Secretary, also as an Additional Secretary in Foreign Minister's Office from September 2018-2019, and assumed the charge of the post of High Commissioner of Pakistan to Malaysia on 19 August 2019. So it's a very long career and service in the Foreign Service. So it's a pleasure to have you again, Her Excellency. So to begin our conversation this morning, perhaps it's good if you can share with us how long that you've been here in Malaysia and how do you find Malaysia so far?
Well, technically I've been here for 3 years, thank you so much. But I will rather not count the past 2 years of lockdown because that did not give us the opportunity to work the way a diplomat is required to work in a host country. But yet that gave us a little bit of more time for introspection, to put our house in order, to look at the issues of our community here in Malaysia in a more deeper manner, and improve on our services. So I would see it, though it was a challenge, but yet it brought an opportunity. So we tried to put things in order so that once when Malaysia opened up, we were better prepared to deal with the new normal, as we are saying it. So now where things have picked up, and things are looking very different from how they were 2 years ago. And I'm very happy to see that Malaysia itself is on a path to recovery, and we're seeing some good economic projections coming in.
Do you travel around the country before and after?
Well, before COVID, not much, obviously, because that was the initial settling down period for me. But post-COVID, yes, I have had most of the western coast on the peninsula. And then I also had the opportunity to visit Sabah and interact with the leadership as well as our community in Sabah. So that was a very interesting trip for me, flying all the way to the eastern side. And it's beautiful. It's really beautiful.
Yes, yes. I'm sure it is a very wonderful experience in part of the Malaysia. So the flood in Pakistan is very sad to say. So we would like to extend the sincere condolences to Pakistan for the flood that has affected more than 33 billion people in the country. So what is the current situation now, Her Excellency, and the kind assistance that urgently needed for the victims?
Yeah, thank you very much for expressing solidarity with the people of Pakistan in this difficult time. As you're aware, this whole situation started evolving around middle of June. It was combination of two factors, and both relate to the climate change that the entire world is witnessing. It started with unprecedented rains, and then followed by unpredicted flash flood situation in the country. So now, even today, as we are speaking, having this conversation here, the toll is no longer 3.3 million. Almost 40 million people have been displaced, which means that it is more than the population of Malaysia. These people are shelterless, homeless. They do not have access to livelihood. According to an estimate, about 1,500 people have lost their lives. More than 12,000 people are injured. 2.2 million houses have been washed away, literally washed away.
This never happened before, Your Excellency.
We had floods, Pakistan, because it's a land of 5 rivers. We faced flooding situation every year, and it is in a way was a blessing because it would help in the agriculture.
Exactly.
But this time it was not usual. Last floods, the biggest floods we witnessed in 2010, and it seems that there's a recurring cycle that after every 10 years some sort of big catastrophe and calamity takes place, and but nobody was able to predict that it would be so, how it has all come about this year. Critical infrastructure is no longer there.
Which part of Pakistan badly affected most?
Entire Pakistan.
Entire
Pakistan. All the provinces from north down to south have been affected. At the moment, it's the southern part is the worst affected in this whole episode. Province of Balochistan and particularly province of Sindh.
I see.
I'd just like to elaborate a little bit more, just to give our audience a little perspective on how
please.
bad the situation is. That, as I said, almost 40 million people have been affected. 13,000 kilometers of road has been washed out. And almost 400 bridges that were connected the country, they are no longer there. So that has made communication and relief work very difficult. So army has been called in because it's in state of emergency in the country. And in some areas, the relief effort is only being done through helicopters because there's no way that people can travel. They're not accessible at all. So that is a very difficult situation, and recently the Secretary General of the United Nations was in Pakistan, and he termed it as monsoons on steroid.
Monsoon.
That is the term he used. So that is the level of flooding and rainfall that was experienced by Pakistan. Entire glaciers melted in the mountains, and then they converted and they came down into the plains.
So Pakistan never seen this kind of large-scale destruction caused by the natural disaster?
Never. It is according to the last estimate that was conveyed to us, $30 billion losses have been incurred in this whole episode.
So how about the relief, the international relief, for example? Is there any assistance provided by international community to help Pakistan in this regard?
Yeah, on 26th of August, when Pakistan declared emergency, certainly a lot of mobilization has taken place. More than 32 relief flights have arrived in Pakistan from various brotherly and friendly countries, bringing relief good. Turkey, China, Saudi Arabia, UAE, even our friends, Palestinians, who are not very, they themselves are in such a difficult situation, but they have come forward to help Pakistan. So, because this disaster is too big for Pakistan to handle all by itself, Pakistan would require international support, international assistance. Not only with this initial phase of relief and rescue, but which would be, of course, followed by the reconstruction and the rehabilitation process, which is yet to be undertaken.
What is the most pressing thing that is needed now? Is there any particular items?
Yes, we have a designated list that has been issued by the government of Pakistan, which starts with shelter. Of course, that is the most important thing. So the shelter could be in form of tents and plastic sheets. Then, of course, there are children and women. They're very important part of our population. So children, food and milk is important because nutrition is very important for them, that it reaches them. And the mothers, new mothers and the pregnant women, they are badly affected. So hygiene kits and then bed sheets, anything that is related to making their life comfortable, towels, clothing, and water purification plants, solar lights. I mean, this is not the entire list, but above all are the basic necessities, and then medicines.
Medicine, okay.
Because waterborne diseases are now a challenge for Pakistan. Starting from dengue, malaria, then venom kits, because obviously flooding brought out a lot of snakes, so we shot on the venom kits also, snake venom kits, and Panadol. That is a acute shortage already due to COVID-19 situation. The health facilities were not at par, and then this has come up. So this is kind of enhanced the pressure on the health sector in Pakistan.
Do you know any NGOs from Malaysia going there and providing assistance?
Yes, up to now, GPM, Global Peace Mission, Mercy Malaysia, then MAPIM, and then Fu Guangshan Temple has also organized relief goods, transportation of relief goods to Pakistan. Shinshu is another foundation here. They have approached us. Yesterday it was really heart-moving to see Yayasan, one of the Yayasan, it's called Yayasan Al-Hijri. They came and they handed over 4,000 ringgit to me that they had collected from the people. We immediately
strong solidarity.
Yes. So everybody, and then the two ladies, I don't even know them, they just walked into the High Commission and they were carrying blankets that they wanted to donate. So it's like everybody who's feeling the pain, they are coming in with whatever they can.
This is wonderful. This is wonderful. And if any Malaysian who want to donate something to these things, how are they going to do that?
We are encouraging people to donate cash because then that cash would be utilized to make procurements in Pakistan so that the economy also keeps moving under these stressing time. We have opened a bank account in Afin Bank, and anybody who is interested in making a donation, they can do that. People who want to make a donation in kind, the Pakistan International Airlines is taking goods free of cost. They're lifting it from KL and taking it to Pakistan, but then they are not taking smaller boxes. There's a problem. So it has to be a big consignment that goes in. So that is the reason why I thought that it would be helpful if cash donations are made. It's easier to handle and manage.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, the flood in Pakistan has a huge impact to the country and caused a lot of destruction. And we welcome any donation from listeners. And please look out for advertisement for donation and so on. So, we're going to take a short break, and we'll come right after this. So welcome back to the program that is The World Today, a conversation with Ambassador. Here with me is the High Commissioner of Pakistan, Amna Baloch, who is speaking to us about the flood and its impact to Pakistan. So yes, there are a lot of assistance from the international community came to Pakistan at the moment. How this situation, how Pakistan manage the situation now?
Like Malaysia, Pakistan also has a disaster management authority,
Yes.
which is our main organization responsible for to respond in case of any kind of emergency in Pakistan, whether it's earthquakes or floods. So this authority remains activated and is working even during when there is no disaster. And then we also have a system whereby we establish these crisis management units, which would have the representatives from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Defense, Ministry of Finance, the State Bank. So once we start receiving requests from the foreign countries to provide assistance, they are all collated in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Pakistan, and then they are disseminated to Civil Aviation or to Disaster Management Authority. Any goods that are being flown into Pakistan, they go to the National Disaster Management Authority, and then they are responsible because they're mapping the areas.
The area.
So they know where what is required where. So they then make sure that that assistance is distributed according to the mapping. So that's how they are managing in Pakistan. Then NGOs. They have local partners, like foreign NGOs would have a Pakistani NGO. They do this hand holding.
Yeah.
So we are encouraging the foreign NGOs to identify a partner in Pakistan. And then those NGOs that are already engaged in rescue and relief operations, they can get themselves associated with these NGOs. They can even send teams to Pakistan. We have also been approached by a group of doctors who would be shortly leaving for Pakistan.
From here?
From Malaysia.
So the embassy here, the High Commission here would be the focal point for all this?
Of course, we are the focal organization. We process the visas. And we help them because we have to ensure that any foreigner who goes to Pakistan, they work in a secure environment, and they are able to complete their assignment in Pakistan and return safely to Malaysia. So that is where the role of High Commission comes in. We make sure that they are registered in the database, and then they reach Pakistan and they're facilitated in Pakistan, deployed in Pakistan, and then on completion they return safely to Malaysia.
So they have a very systematic management in there. Because in Malaysia we're also facing the same thing, but now they are fixing up the system and to face another challenge of flood. So now let us go to the post-pandemic situation that we are in right now. So as we can see, the COVID-19 pandemic has impacted the world, not just only individual country or just health-wise, but also economically.
Right.
So many countries are also facing challenges in ensuring growth of the economy. So in the context of Pakistan, what are the measures taken by Pakistan in dealing with the impact of the global economic uncertainty in the post-COVID-19, Her Excellency?
Thank you very much. I would just like to touch upon how Pakistan decided to tackle this issue. When the whole world went into a lockdown or a shutdown on 18th of March 2020, Pakistan did not choose to follow that path.
Okay.
We from the very beginning, because realizing that we 220 million people population in Pakistan, they cannot be put in a lockdown because a lot of people they rely on daily wages.
I see.
Our economy is basically an agricultural economy. So the government then decided that to introduce a system whereby hotspots would be identified and hotspots would be locked down or shut down for a period of 7 to 10 days, and while the rest of the country continue to operate normally. This was also in combination with this strategy, a very a proactive vaccination drive was also started in Pakistan. Pakistan was part of the testing of Chinese Sinopharm vaccine. So we had access to the testing way before the entire vaccination drive was undertaken across the globe.
Yeah.
So that helped Pakistan to mitigate the impact, the economic impact, and we were cushioned at least to the extent that locally the economy continued to operate. Domestically, people were able to earn their livelihoods, and they did not create pressure for the government to subsidize.
So people are very happy with that approach.
Yes, certainly they are. They are. They initially the fears or the trauma that as we see the world going into lockdowns, people were apprehensive. But this strategy helped not only in their livelihood, but I would say it contributed significantly to their mental health as well.
So there is no big issue mental health during that time?
No, we did
because
not.
the world is facing that problem, including in Malaysia. Mental health issue is very serious thing here.
Yeah, the isolation, that sense of isolation that was created, we did not experience that. And then we have a very strong family tradition. Friends and family, we come to each other's rescue. Support each other. And of course, because we continued to operate normally, it was easier to access friends and family who were in distress in that time. Providing them not only material support, food or health support, but also addressing their, social requirements also.
So it is not really badly affected in that regard, I think.
No, not in that, but Pakistan economy continued to sustain difficulties because it was not this whole. Due to globalization, all our economies are deeply integrated across borders.
Yeah.
So if supply chain disrupts anywhere in the world, it has repercussions for the, I would say, entire global economy.
Yeah, that's true.
So Pakistan also had to suffer due to that. Then the cost of doing business has increased significantly in this time because as let's just take automobile industry.
Yeah.
Due to the shortage of semiconductors and chips, the automobile industry has taken a big setback. Similarly for other industries also. There's a shortage of raw material because the raw material could not be transported within time. If it's agriculture sector, the fertilizers are not available. So it's not that it's only Pakistan's economy that is suffering. It is because how the integration of economies has taken place across the world that is creating the problem.
Yeah.
We have to rely on each other too much.
Yes, interdependency create impact as well. Yeah. So now let us look at a more broader picture of Pakistan, especially in the context of regional and the global perspective. If we look at Pakistan, geographical perspective, it's strategically located in between many countries which become the interests of the superpowers. So how do you see the role of Pakistan in this time in bringing peace to the region, in bringing stability to the region, especially in the context of the current situation in Afghanistan, for example? Because Pakistan has a long history during the war in Afghanistan, there are many refugees, many displaced people come to flood into Pakistan, and this is going to impose some challenge to Pakistan. And how's the situation right now, and how Pakistan manage all this thing, Her Excellency?
As you said, that Pakistan is the geographic location of Pakistan is such that we cannot remain disassociated with whatever is taking place around us. Similarly, people of Afghanistan are very close to us because we share same religion, same culture, same values. And unfortunately, since this issue of Afghanistan has arisen in the last century, during the 1970s, Pakistan has remained a part of this the evolving scenario. We have tried our level best to provide support because we desire the peace to prevail. We desire that people of Afghanistan live their life according to their own wishes and their own aspirations. And we want to see a prosperous and a thriving Afghanistan, where the people of Afghanistan can live comfortably. And this is what has been Pakistan's stance, always Pakistan's stance. And right now we also urge our other friendly countries and the international community to remain engaged with the government that is in place in Kabul, because it is very important to keep the channel of communication open, a dialogue open, if we want to resolve the problems and if we want to address the problems. So this has always been Pakistan's stance, and we stand by it. Pakistan is located at a very, as you said, strategic place on the world map.
Yeah.
And settlement, peace, prosperity can open many avenues for economic growth, not only for Pakistan and the region, but for the other countries of the world. Let's take the case of Malaysia. If Pakistan, Afghanistan, there's peace and prosperity, Pakistan could be used by the Malaysian businessmen for investment, and that will open the doorway to Central Asia, Middle East, Africa, and Pakistan can be a hub from where the Malaysian businessmen and Malaysian companies can reach out to other parts of the world and enhance their business footprint. So not only there's a strategic, politically strategic, but I would say Pakistan has the potential, economic potential that can be leveraged.
You mentioned just now about the need to engage. Do you sense or do you perceive that there is some kind of practice, people abandon Afghanistan or disengage with?
I would not say that, but see, it's a human nature, and the countries also reflect that human nature, that when problems start to pile up and issues after issues are coming up, we are already grappling with the situation vis-a-vis Russia and Ukraine. When newer issues keep coming, the old issues tend to go in the background, which is, I would not say abandoning, I would say just the focus shifts.
The shift of focus to another issue.
So, but yet we have to remain cognizant of the fact that when we are dealing with the countries, we're dealing with the people, and we cannot absolve ourselves from the responsibility.
Yeah, because I think finally it's the people that the most
Yeah.
important things.
True.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take another short break. So keep tuning in to our program, and we will be back right after this. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the World Today conversation with Ambassador. So here with me is High Commissioner of Pakistan, Amna Baloch. So, ladies and gentlemen, just now we were discussing about the role of Pakistan at the regional level, international level in dealing with the geopolitics. So right now, let us look at the bilateral relation between Malaysia and Pakistan, because we have a long history of bilateral relation. So what are your expectation and hope for the future relation between Malaysia and Pakistan?
Yes, Pakistan was one of the first few countries to immediately recognize Malaysia on the attainment of independence. Our diplomatic relations were established in 1957. And our first High Commissioner to Malaysia was retired General Sher Ali Khan Patodi. And he set the tone for this relationship way back in the 1950s. And I have a very interesting fact. Some of the members of different royal families of Malaysia, they went to Pakistan for their initial education at the HSN College. And I meet...
The military college?
No, it's not. It's like a boarding school.
I see.
Same style like the in UK.
Mm-hmm.
So they went there, and I meet Honorable Tunkus now, and they recall their fond memories of Pakistan. So I thought that was a very interesting fact that I would like to share with the
Yes.
viewers here. That there are still people at the leadership level who can recall their initial days in Pakistan, and they had traveled to Pakistan in a ship in the sea, via sea, because there were no air linkages then. But we have come a long way since then, and at the moment we enjoy robust relationship, Pakistan and Malaysia. We collaborate with each other very closely on issues of mutual interest. We support each other's candidatures at multilateral forums. Pakistan and Malaysia, we have a deep political as well as economic and commercial ties. Pakistan, though the trade is recorded at 1.3 billion at the moment, the bilateral trade between Pakistan and Malaysia, and of course it tilts in favor of Malaysia, with about 1.2 billion exports to Pakistan, exports and investments to Pakistan. On our part, what we have been doing is that we have been taking advantage of the fact that there are 5 weekly flights between direct flights between Pakistan and Malaysia. So we have been trying to bring in a lot of fresh fruits from Pakistan that are being marketed here.
Usually, what is it, the fresh fruit?
Well, of course, during the mango season, it is the
Mango season.
Pakistani mango, and nothing matches the Pakistani mango. But we have introduced peaches, we have introduced grapes, we have introduced pomegranate from Pakistan. So we have tried to diversify, and in addition to mango, we have added more to that basket of fresh fruts and vegetables.
So these are the current development of...
Yes,
I see.
But other than this is Pakistan is providing almost 60% of rice to Malaysia, and we are right now the top exporter of rice to Malaysia, and we are trying to work with the government of Malaysia and the local businessmen to ensure that there is no food insecurity in the country. So being an agricultural country, we have that wherewithal to meet the food requirements of Malaysia, and we're doing that. So in addition to rice, we also export maize, corn, which is used for, of course, consumption of the people, as well as it goes to the preparation of feed for chicken.
Yeah.
So that is because poultry is a very important area that Malaysia has. So other than that, we have onions and potatoes coming in from Pakistan. Condensate oil is another area. Then garments, because Pakistan is again a textile producing country. So home textiles is particularly very well liked here in Malaysia. So we bring in towels, bed sheets.
And in addition to that, there are also Pakistani here in Malaysia. I mean, Pakistani descent. And we are also sometimes, the local people, they also dress like Pakistani.
That is, I think, because the culture and religion plays a very important role in the choices that we make, how we dress up, because Pakistani dresses are also, adhering to the religious values, fully covering us. So that is the attraction. And Pakistani garments, because now people-to-people linkages are getting stronger, where there's a lot of tourists going from Malaysia to Pakistan.
Oh.
And when they visit, of course, then they like the local fashion, and they bring in that.
So usually,
fabrics.
what were the attraction in there if people from here going to Pakistan? They went to...
Yes, in recent years, because of this linkage that I was mentioning earlier, and there are many Pakistani foreign workers coming here to work. So now the culture has been introduced here, and then Pakistan, a lot of tourists and students from Malaysia, they go to Pakistan to study in various institutions in Pakistan. So when they move back and forth, there's a lot of interest. Malaysian hitchhikers and Malaysian mountain climbers, they have gone to Pakistan because Pakistan has some of the top mountain tops that mountaineers like to climb. So they have been going to Pakistan for adventure tourism. So that is a niche that we are working on. So when they go, they come back with these lovely stories and their videos and their vlogs. That has created more awareness in Malaysia regarding the tourism potential of Pakistan.
So you also have seen a rise or an uptake on the tourism
we have
industries.
As I said, 5 direct flights, and they are full. Getting a seat on the flight to Pakistan is a big challenge nowadays.
5 flights per
week.
Per week.
Per week, direct flights, yeah, and they're full, both ways.
So how about the food? I mean, they also share. I mean, we can find.
Well, I have eaten Malay biryani, which is, of course, according to the local tastes and palate. But I'm really happy to say that a lot of Malaysians, they asked me that, Madam, when would we get a chance to eat biryani at Pakistan House? So it's always fun to prepare biryani and share it with my Malaysian brothers and sisters. So well, Pakistani biryani is, I think, it tops the list.
It tops the list. Beside clothing and so on. But I also noticed that beside that, there is also a lot of mosques, Pakistani mosques here in Kelantan even, where I was, I'm from. We have a mosque there just to show that there is a closeness between these two.
Yeah, that is true. I went to Penang, and I was we have a Pakistan mosque in Penang, in Georgetown, and then in Kelantan. Yeah. Because there were these Pakistan mosque is not a recent phenomenon. Let me tell
that's
you.
Right. Yeah.
Even during the colonial era, Pakistan people from that area, the subcontinent, the South Asia. They were part of the British military army. They were deployed here, and then they got married locally. They settled here. So we have 3rd and the 4th generation in Malaysia who can trace their origin to Pakistan. So they have a deep association from the lands from where the forefathers had come from. So, and they are trying to live up to that history that they share with that part of the world.
So I mean that you feel at home whenever you are here in Malaysia, I'm sure.
100%. It's so comfortable to be here in Malaysia because, of course, language is not a barrier.
Yeah.
Communicating with people is very easy. People are friendly, and they are genuinely interested. They want to find out how the people from other parts of the world are responding, living, what are their likes, what are their dislikes. So it's always a pleasure to interact with local Malaysian people.
On the personal note, you as the ambassador, you have seen the world, I would say. You've been in so many places, not only in this region, but also all over the world. So whenever you look at all these differences, how do you feel like? Do you feel like the sense of appreciation to diversity?
It is, and I'm so happy to see here in Malaysia the harmony that exists, despite that you have people of different origins living in Malaysia. But how comfortable they are with each other, how they live together. That is, I think, a big plus point that Malaysia has, and Malaysia can actually take advantage of that diversity, because it teaches other countries to adopt the similar model, to create the same harmony among people of different backgrounds. I enjoy my interaction at all levels in Malaysia, and it's at the same time it gives me an opportunity to enjoy different cuisines, into different festivals.
That's right.
I think Malaysia has every reason to celebrate its diversity.
Yes, indeed. So just now, I think that's based on your explanation. I can see that there are pillars of relation that we have, like in terms of economy, in terms of the cultural, people-to-people education, and so on and so forth. What are the other things? I mean, maybe political relation.
A political relationship, of course, exists when countries establish bilateral relations and they recognize each other. That is just the initial phase. And the things that I've mentioned are actually the areas that strengthen that political relationship. It reinforces the commitment that the countries have with each other. So I think that the commercial and the economic ties, people-to-people contacts, the cultural linkages, and the whole set of MOUs and agreements that we sign with between the countries, they provide that strength to the relationship, and also provides an opportunity, opens up new avenues for cooperation. And the relationships cannot remain stagnant.
Yeah.
They have to grow, they have to evolve, they have to prosper. And it is only when people are in communication with each other at all levels this can happen.
So you can see the consolidation of bilateral relation between the two in the past many years.
Of course, we have. And in recent years, our Prime Minister visited Malaysia in 2018, then our Prime Minister visited Malaysia in 2020, and Prime Minister of Malaysia visited Pakistan in 2019, Dr. Mahathir, whereby he was also the chief guest at our National Day in Pakistan, which is 23rd of March. And this shows the level of trust and friendship between Pakistan and Malaysia.
Yeah, what you can see is the the political relationship is a spill over to social, economic, and people-to-people relationship, which has been deepening from time to time, and the food and the clothes and so on and so forth. And I think that's why we are actually in solidarity with the people of Pakistan when the natural disaster, the flood, hit Pakistan. And we are also feel or share the sentiment, the hardship with the people of Pakistan, because we used to feel or go through the same kind of experience recently. So thank you, Her Excellency, for being with us this morning. And thank you also to the producer, Haja Mazlina, and our technical team. And thank you to all listeners for being with us today. And see you again in the next episode. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.